Okay, my loves, hi, Hasina here. Today I'm going to be doing a eyebrow tutorial. So, not the best choice of lighting. As soon as I decided to do it, it was like, okay, let's get gray. But I know I'm learning little by little, slowly but surely, that done is better than perfect. So we are going to do it today. For today's tutorial, I am going to do them on, there's nothing on my brows right now, but my eyebrows are pretty freshly done. So I probably will do other tutorials in the future that for when your eyebrows are kind of like less done. But you can see here, my eyebrows are pretty black. They grow naturally black, actually even darker than my hair. So I usually use sorry for the, I guess that's a fire alarm. I usually use a brown, a neutral brown, just to take the heaviness out of the brow. I think it's important to do that if it's for more of an everyday look. I also think, and I'm not really big into saying don't do something after a certain age, but I do think that sometimes darker brows can age you in a way that maybe you're not intending to do. So, but in the same respect, if you lighten them but you choose something that maybe has too much tone or is too warm, depending on your complexion, it can kind of do the same. Or if you make them too light, it can kind of do the same thing. So that's something important to play with. So I don't have thick eyebrows. I don't have thin eyebrows, but I have long hairs that grow. I don't have a lot of hair, but they are long and they are thin. But they get the job done. So what I like to do is use a spoolie first and just brush my brows. As you see here, I've had this part my entire life. If you've ever seen any of my posts of my baby pictures, I always have that. So I kind of brush it in, but and lots of again, I apologize, you know, that's how I do it. I'm going to use a brow pencil Benefit, precisely my brow pencil. I really like it. I use it in the color neutral brown 3.5. But if I'm honest with you, Wet n Wild's brow pencil is pretty close to being just as good. If I'm not using this, I'm using the Wet n Wild one. So it's your call. Like, let's say you don't have it in the bank for the $18 or $24, I don't know. For this, you'll be fine with the Wet n Wild one. So what I do is, and please bear with me because I've never done this while talking and I've never done this while looking at a screen. So I like to start at the front because I don't have much brow hair. I go all the way to where my hairs end, even if you can't see them by the naked eye. So I start here, and I actually go slightly farther. I got that from Jackie Aina. It's a really good point because you can clean that up later. So I go here, and then I start going up into the arch. Hopefully this works out. Lord, if I get this if I get this wrong because I don't know how to do it this way, that would be really funny. So yeah, I start filling in that arch. I like a nice arch brow. I've always liked it. You know, I think since I was a little kid, I thought it was like the first thing I ever noticed about like Michael Jackson was how arched his eyebrows were. And when I was a little kid, I was like, I'm gonna have those. So, you know, but it's funny, as I get older, I don't always do very arched brow. So I start to just slightly fill in here, nothing crazy, and start to connect. And right here, like, these hairs are not as long as the rest, so it looks like it's thinner. It's just that the hairs don't grow as long. So already we're getting stuff done. Now once I do that, I like to do a couple, I don't do the feather thing, I just do a couple of lines Now this is not going to work for everyone. I just do a couple of lines. I get a line in where that part is. But I do a couple of lines and I don't make it so perfect because I don't really have any hair here. So if I start really drawing that in, it actually looks more fake for me. And on top of that, I'm one of those people, like, I don't try to always replicate perfectly natural brows. If I wanted a natural brow, I'd wear my brows. No shade, just saying. So after I do that, I brush this in and see what could be sparse, what couldn't be sparse. There we go, there we go. Also, as far as eyebrows, I used to be very like committed to doing my eyebrows before I do the rest of my makeup. Now, not so much. I think it's just whatever floats your boat that day. Sometimes I do it first and sometimes I don't. Okay, so one brow filled in. Another thing, this belief that brows need to be totally identical. If you don't have naturally identical brows, you're gonna look weird making them super identical. You want to get them close, but I don't even think sisters. I want to say like cousins. You want to get them like cousins, because when they're actually too identical, it makes your face look weird. It makes your face look off because we don't have the same size eyes. We don't have all these things, and then you make one part of your face almost too perfect and it actually makes the rest of your face off, whereas you want them to be similar. So now this eye this is an even balder eye. So over here you see these hairs, that's as much as they grow. They were never plucked. I actually always have this story of when I was in junior high, I hit my head on a cabinet and was bleeding, and those hairs just kind of never really grew back. So I fill it in here, and I get a little in the tail, and then I try to connect this brow. Now, feel where your brow bone is. This brow bone is lower than this one, so I can always feel like when the pencil is starting to stray from where I want the arch to be, okay? So now here I have this line, I'm gonna fill that. This has even less hair, so it's just what it is, and I pull it all the way in. We're gonna save it before it gets crazy, I promise. Now I want to just go back and make sure I got as much arch as I would want to have for here, okay? So see, it looks a little wild, but we're gonna fix that, okay? I'd rather go too far in but not keep them. I can't stand that. And I don't mean that as, you know, I always try to preface, do what the fuck you want to do ultimately, every time, all the time, because it's your body, it's your life. Now, if you are choosing not to have that, but you end up doing it, don't always make these too close. Now, when you do that, sometimes I see it also, like women of color do this often when they're like doing Instagram makeup. They make the eyebrows too close, and it's not flattering for the shape of your nose. If you have a fuller nose, it makes your nose kind of look disproportionate to the rest of your face, even though that's not what you're attempting. I don't think that's what they're attempting to do. So you always want to kind of take a pencil, see where your nose is, and see where that, not pencil, but spoolie or whatever, and see where that brow should start. So I'm going to clean up anything that's past here. See, same thing here. So these are just slightly past where they should be, okay? I'm going to clean that up. Now, we have a lot going on here. So if I like the whole shebang, I like gel, I like pencil. I don't really do powder so much anymore. But if you just want to do a pencil and keep it moving, that's your business. I am not mad at you. So what I do is I brush it with the spoolie. Now I brush it with a clear gel, okay? And I've been doing this recently. I usually use a color gel and just I'm done with it. But I like to brush it with a clear gel, do any other fine-tuned shaping, and then anything that looks a little bald, I fill it with a color gel. So, and this is just E.L.F. I've been using E.L.F. clear gel since E.L.F. first came out, and you could not get them online, and everything was still $1. I mean, everything. Like, I think E.L.F. was on Oprah. That's how long I've been using E.L.F. So you see how this brow is shorter, and you just kind of like brush it in. I hope I'm being helpful, because sometimes I've never done this before, and I'm trying to branch out and do different shit. So, brows and gel. Now you see how that's a little past where I'd want it to be. I am a big fan. I still do. I know a lot of people like, I'm past that. I like to line the top of my brows. Sometimes I don't do the bottom anymore because my hairs are long and they move around. I like to definitively create the arch. So when I do that, I will use a concealer. I don't even use a brush. I think for my eyebrows, I think the LA Girl Pro Concealer, because it has a little brush add-on, I think it's absolutely perfect. So I squeeze some out, and then I take all the excess and just kind of slide it on the cap. And here we go. So I look at what I want. I know I want both these arches here. Okay. So while this is the fuller brow, it doesn't have as great an arch as the other one. So I line it up and I just start pulling. And I'm very gentle with it because you don't want the brow to look crazy. Okay. See? Now I want to do the same thing here. Now. Okay. And pull this down. Now this side of my brow has higher hairs at the front, even though there's less of them than the other brow. So I try to accommodate for that. Now here, like I said, let's pull that line here, pull that line here. Okay. Let's even go further. Okay. Now I want to take here and just slightly line that up higher. Okay. Don't take a shot every time I say okay, you'll probably pass out. Or okay. Ha! Didn't even hear myself say that shit. Okay. Now see, this brow's higher than this one. That always happens for me. So I want to lift, because I told you about the brow bone. And these are not, this is, please mind for your own face. This is not usually an issue for everyone. Yeah, everybody has their own stuff, and you adjust accordingly. Okay, now you see like this is a little lower here than this one. I like to have them closer together. There we go. Now let's blend that. Okay, take my sponge and just brush it, just pat it right into whatever makeup you already have on, so you don't have that crisp line there. Okay. Also, the LA Girl, I was using that in Fawn. Everybody uses Fawn. That's why it's always sold out. Okay. Let's blend in the center. There we go. And like I said, it's not going to be perfect, but you really, or I mean, it could be, but I think, like, I know which one of my eyes is smaller than the other. So when I start playing with that one, and trying to make them too perfect, we start to get into weird land. Okay, so there we go. If we can look for any spots that we may want a little more for this eye is the better arch, but it's thinner. This is the fuller arch, but it's shorter. So in that case, when there's something, I mean, it looks fine right now, but in that case, when I feel like there's something I want to fill in, I will use the colored gel, and I use Anastasia brow gel in dark brown. You know, sometimes I change it up, make it a little lighter. I'm trying to think what else I've used before I was using Anastasia. I was using, I think it's called Peri Pera. I think it's a Korean brand. I really like that. And you can find that at the drugstore. So yeah, like right here, I'm gonna fill that because that's that hair that's a little shorter. We're gonna go on and fill that space right there. And I like hairs moving around. I think it gives a more natural look, but you know, not totally wake up and look like that. So there you go. And this here, you want to be careful. When you have thinner hairs, you have to keep a light hand. I'm gonna fill this here. Yeah, just a hair. So it feels more even in the front. Feels a little choppy to me. There we go. But you gotta keep a very gentle hand so it doesn't look crazy. So there you have it. Eyebrows are done. They're full. And they'll stay. At least my experience when I do it like this, I'm not gonna see my eyebrows change or look any different for the rest of the day until I wash my face. This stays. So yeah, pencil, eyebrow gel, some concealer, steady hand, patience, and you're good to go. All right, so I hope this was helpful. I hope I explained it well. I'm trying, y'all. I'm really trying to do new shit. But I would love to hear what other kind of tutorials you would like to see. I'll try to do another one when my eyebrows are less done to see like what I do to make a new look, because I also like to change them up, and I'm someone who lets my eyebrows grow so that when I don't have makeup on, I still kind of feel comfortable with what they look like. So like I said, I'll probably do another brow tutorial at another time. I'd love to hear any kind of like tutorials or anything that you'd be interested to see from me. I'd like to hear your thoughts. Was this useful? Was it not? And most importantly, I want you to have a great week. Be well, be kind, and I will talk to you soon. One love.